Hello, everybody. I'm here with Maria Addesso, the Vice President of Marketing for Trade Brands at ALG Vacations. Anna Maria, thank you so much for jumping on here and talking to me. I know how busy things are, and I really appreciate your time.
Oh, thanks, Dan. Happy to be here.
So I want to jump into it. One thing I've sort of been asking a lot of people I've been speaking to, I know we're almost in 2025 now, but we talk a lot about pre-COVID normal. I'm curious from your point of view, what necessarily isn't back to normal? Like what is still changed? And in your sort of perspective, what's going to remain changed going forward for travel advisors?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. We kind of have this saying in the marketing area, we call it the new normal. And the new normal happens like all the time. Normal scares me. Stable is better, but normal is, it's what it is right now. So I think there's really a couple things. I mean, the biggest thing right now is shifting consumer expectations, right? So after COVID happened, consumers are just so much more discerning than they were prior. And the industry has really shifted to emphasize the value of the trip as more of a life enhancing investment and experience rather than just a transaction. Today's travelers really want more than just a destination. They actually want immersive, inclusive experience, which is tough because I think that wasn't necessarily always the case, and it seems to be more of the case now moving forward. And then I think the other thing really is the value of travel advisors. It's increased exponentially, obviously post-pandemic, just because there was so much noise and subjective guidance in the marketplace, contingent on who or where you were looking for information. Consumers were really looking again for that human validation, which was an amazing opportunity for advisors, and they were listening, they were caring, they're making sure customer needs are met. Right after the pandemic, actually, we launched a huge campaign called the Year of the Travel Advisor, which was very well received by all. And it was in response to this new normal that was going on. And we were just pushing the value and the expertise of customers. So we're always constantly building up advisors, to help them in this changing marketplace. We have like our travel advisor champion, Carson Kressley, who helps us out and talks about why to use an advisor and why they're so amazing. We have our latest campaign, which is Travel Advisors Get You There, which again just reinforces why you should use an advisor.
Yeah. I still remember when you launched that campaign. I think was it 21, 22, that
It
first
was,
campaign?
yeah, it
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember being here in New York and seeing Carson's face in Times Square when I was going through. So definitely front of mind. I do want to ask about, so coming out of the pandemic, there was a lot of conversations about consumers needing to book with a travel advisor. The travel was so complicated now. There were so many hurdles in the way that you needed an expert. And I know a lot of advisors picked up a lot of business then. I mean, now I guess like entering 25, memories of the pandemic are fading. I know it's still a major thing, but they are fading. I'm curious from your point of view, how can advisors continue to communicate that value on to consumers even when they forget about how hectic maybe traveling in 21 or 22 was?
Right. I mean, advisors are really in probably the best position that they've ever been going into 25 again. So their momentum is just consistently building. But I think what they can do is emphasize the security and the support of using an advisor, right? So it's kind of nice because they're professionals as well as travelers, right? So that like double reinforces their credibility and relatability, right? Making that value like even stronger to their clients. They also provide this like amazing layer of security, and they can manage issues on the fly. I mean, no one can fix something more than a travel advisor can, right? So it minimizes disruptions of trips, which is what people don't think about too. And then again, I think personal stories, right? So not only are you a professional in the industry, but you're also a traveler as well. So how they navigated and they have the inside experience or how they've helped other clients, right? So it's really leveraging your personal brand, which is huge because every advisor has a different personal brand and that has to connect with their clients. But it does help bringing kind of, this confidence and awareness to these groups. And then I think the other thing really is the personalized destination research and trend awareness, right? So you just kind of want to keep on the pulse of what's going on. That just makes you more of an insider and more to know to help navigate your clients in the direction they want to go. And then finally, I think social media is a great thing. Advisors are the first and the only travel influencers who are true travel influencers in the space, but showing videos and showing like client referrals and what people are saying. I mean, that's huge. So it's one thing to tell people, but it's another thing to really see it.
Yeah. And I guess echoing off that, 3 times this year I've had to call my travel advisor from an airplane when I was on the plane, and we were going back to the gate to deplane because I had cancellations. And I know I could hear consumers behind me not being able to book another flight because they were trying to do it themselves. So I think, like you
Right.
mentioned, the disruptions, COVID might be gone, the disruptions are going to continue.
Correct.
And then you mentioned destinations. I know people are talking about Europe, going back to Europe in the summer. People are looking towards summer 25 now. Overcrowding, heat is always an issue. People want to know where to go to get away from that kind of stuff. And there's no one better to tell you that than a travel advisor. All right, just I guess just one more, Anne Marie, and then I do want to ask you about what's new, what else is new at ALG Vacations.
Okay,
But
great.
I guess going forward, you mentioned sort of the relationship with travel advisors has strengthened with consumers. I'm curious if you've seen any trends about what else consumers now want out of their advisors, particularly what's going to keep them coming back, what's going to keep them continue to be loyal to their travel advisor.
Oh, absolutely. I think consumers want the world post-pandemic too, which I know is very difficult. We struggle with it. We know advisors struggle with it as well. So, again, from a marketing perspective, putting my marketing hat on, you really need to understand your target audience, right? So it's not like you have one type of client, you have 1,000 type of clients. So if you're connecting with this particular target by figuring out the specific goals and preferences. That really helps. More specialized communication to certain groups. People just don't want a one size fits all. They want just definitely a more personalized communication. They want a more personalized communication from the advisor is what they really want. And then following up on that is more personalized experience. They're just looking for things like the levels and the standards that people are being held to craft these vacations are they're kind of scary, right? Because people have very high expectation, and again, it goes back to the experiential. They want what they want. So again, more personalization, immersive experience, custom itineraries. That's going to allow you to see more repeat clientele as well. And again, married with that firsthand experience, right, that you have as an advisor, I think is kind of that 1-2 punch and really amazing. And then finally, just cutting through the information overload that we have in our just ecosystem right now. It's like I said, everybody and their brother is a travel expert, but very few people truly are experts. So it's just kind of clearing the clutter, establishing yourself as kind of this industry expert, and gaining trust with your clientele.
Yeah, I think people use the term drinking from a fire hose or trying to
Right.
drink from a fire hose. It does feel like that when you talk to consumers. Sometimes they want information, and the internet is a wonderful place, but it's also a big place. So yeah, you're right. I completely agree on those two items. Yeah, so I know there's always things new with ALG Vacations. I know there's new campaigns, new products, things like that. What would you sort of want travel advisors to concentrate on, or keep their ears and eyes open about heading into 25?
Yeah, we have a lot of really great things happening for 2025. We're very excited here internally at ALG Vacations. Lux by ALG Vacations. If advisors have not checked that out, I'm urging them to check it out. We're extending across global destinations, so not just beach. I mean, all the way from Thailand to Egypt to China. Just higher end travel demands, and you get luxe amenities with these packages. There's a dedicated concierge team that can also help you out. So we're just really trying to fill a need, for what the market is asking for. And it's over 450 hand-selected properties worldwide. So we're very excited about that. We also have Europe as well. We were recently in Spain and Portugal, for those of you that saw us there, and we're really trying to expand that. We have a lot of social media marketing and videos and things to help advisors sell. But again, we're looking to serve a broader range of customer along with you, the advisor, which is very exciting. And your product's doing very well. We have travel logs, travel blogs that you can go in and read. So lots of collateral for you to look at. We've got our ALGV Pro education program as well, and we are launching, or we've recently launched our new ALGV Pro Active, which is kind of a refresher course to keep everybody current. So it's the answer to Pro. So if you've done Pro, that's great. If you haven't done Pro, you should do Pro. But you should move on to Proactive because it's kind of like the next layer and the next step. And we've had an amazing response with the education platform, and we're constantly looking to refine it. And we definitely are looking at feedback from what advisors are saying they need and kind of what's going on with market trends. And then finally, the mega FAMs are coming back. Those were huge wins for everybody this year in 2025. So good news, they will, or for 2024, they'll be back in 25. So good news on that. And then our kindness movement, we're constantly perfecting it. That is still moving forward. The kindness conference will be happening again this year, as well as the brand new kindness connection. And we're doing something for World Kindness Day, which is coming up next week. So keep an eye peeled on that. There's some fun things happening with that in relation to our kindness movement.
Yeah, I know how excited advisors are about Europe, about Lux, and I got to experience that first kindness conference, and it really is a sort of a very unique once in a calendar
Mhm.
year kind of event. So I definitely implore child advisors to keep an eye out on that. Anna Maria, thank you so much for jumping on here. I know it was a quick conversation, but I really appreciate your time, and we'll get all the info to those mega fams, everything else in the bottom of this video. So advisors will be reaching out hopefully.
Thank you.